Hello everyone, I'm Isabel Perez. Below I present my opinion on the following topic, period the thought of legalizing recreational drugs. As we know, recreational drugs are a variety of dangerous psychoactive substance that, when consumed, tend to generate dependence and degradation of the mental and emotional health of those who practice them. And the idea of legalizing this drug is manifested in that its use in small quantities is allowed in party places and discos and also in free spaces. Science those who promote its use say that it does not harm anyone. The use of psychoactive drugs over the years has been a factor that has made crime on the streets increasingly frequent, and this has also caused people to panic about going out to public places of entertainment with their families. For fear of not being caught by those who are practicing its use. Some declare improvement in consumer behavior, in addition to a decrease in drug smuggling and control of illicit crops. And it may be that at the level of strengthening the economic control by the government and loss of power by the smuggler, it is something effective, but then what do we do with the security and protection of the quality of life and the life itself of our children, adolescents, and young people? And in addition to strengthening social security, and as we also know, the use of psychoactive drugs causes irreversible damage to mental, emotional, behavioral, cognitive, and interpersonal relationship, causing, as I mentioned before, increasing social degradation. I say that the idea of legalizing recreational drugs disappears because if not, then more drug addicts will appear, and more negative behavior that for so many years have been damaging the integrity of our children and young people. With the legalization of recreational drugs, and none of us who live in Colombia and frequent free places or parties could enjoy a healthy and safe environment, and there could also not be enough room to serve and people who are using drugs. And science, I want a harsher safer and more harmonious country. I say no to the legalization of recreational drugs because it's very bad. In conclusion, I believe that those who have currently made and continue to make effort to obtain approved for the consumption of these substances are not contributing anything to the benefit of society, even if they believe so. And I say this because they have not taken into account some variables that are so important, such as the age range, knowledge, motive, or experience of the person who consumes or will consumes. And these substances, they also do not take into account that every consumer is not of legal age, and that some children and adolescents are mentally vulnerable, and that even if they cannot legally obtain that vows to harm themselves, they will still seek it illegally, but with a difference. Achieving it is no longer so difficult. Science owns legalized, it will be within everyone's reach, and this will continue to be a problem to be solved. Continuing with my argument, I want to mention some factors in personal life that will be affected by the consumption of these substances. First, we have the physical part, which present footing, continuous health problems, red and dark ash, persistent cough. On the emotional side, personality changes, rapid mood swings, irritability, irresponsible behavior, long self-pity or self-love, poor judgment, depression, and general disinterest. In the family, it is evident disobeying the rules, withdrawing or stopping, communicating with the family, at the school, waning interesting negative attitude, neglect of storage, long wait, frequent absences, and discipline problems. Socially, new friends who don't care about normal activities at home and school, trouble with the lounge, and a shift toward unconventional styles of dress and music. All these for what was said about drugs are substances that, when introduced into the living organism, can modify one or more of its functions and alter the psychological and sometimes physical state, which is characterized by behavioral changes and other reactions that always include impulse and uncontrollable talking of the medication. Thank you very much.